Good afternoon, good evening, or whenever you're watching this. It's your boy, the DOUG, here for NFL Week 2 picks. In Week 1, I went 11-5. That's pretty good. We'll tip my hat, though, to the Washington Redskins. You proved me wrong. You did beat the Saints, I say. Good job to you guys. Seattle, though. You know, if I'm a Seahawks fan after seeing what they just saw on Sunday, wow. You know, goal line situation, you have a chance to win the game, and you fail all 4 times. Okay? Your quarterback could not be clutch. And if you couldn't be that against Arizona, I'm afraid that's what you're going to be able to do this week. In Denver, you beat Pittsburgh, but I'm not sold on you guys yet. I'm still not sold. If you win this week, fine. I'll believe the hype. But I'm not believing the hype just quite yet. As far as for the Niners, hey, you did something I didn't think you could do. You beat Green Bay in Green Bay. So, I'll tip my hat to you, my friend. In Carolina, you didn't even get off the dang bus last week. You didn't even bother showing up. I think those are the ones I lost. Redskins won. Packers lost. Yeah, those were my losses. So let's get to week 2. Should be an interesting. Let's get to the Thursday night game. Bears and Packers. Bears coming off a win over the Colts, like I just said, though. Packers coming over the loss against the 49ers. I'm taking Green Bay again. Packers are at home again, and I don't think they're gonna lose twice at home. At least I hope not. I'm really gonna start off week 2 bad. I think Packers win. I trust their quarterback more. I said that last week too, and look what happened. Hopefully their defense plays a little better, though, for you Packer fans. Those Bears could win that. Game 2, Giants versus Buccaneers. I'm taking the G-Men. I don't think they're going to lose twice at home. Good job, Cowboys, on that one. I think Bucs, I think they're an interesting team, but I don't know if they can beat Giants in New York. I don't think they can. Maybe I might be wrong, but we'll see. Game 3, Raiders versus Dolphins. This was one of those hard picks for me just because of the fact of both teams absolutely, positively blow dog. I mean, Dolphins only got 10 points, and I think Raiders got what? Wasn't it like, 16, I think, on Monday night? I'm taking Oakland. I think they're somewhat of the better team. And that's me being nice. I'm taking Oakland. Game 4, Texans versus Jaguars. I'm taking the kidding, I'm not taking the Jaguars. I ain't stupid. I'm taking the Houston Texans. My God, you saw what they did to Miami. And Jaguars, you couldn't even beat Minnesota in OT, okay? You had a chance to win that game 50 billion times, and you blew it. Texans win. Next game, Browns versus Bengals. Wow, this was a hard pick because both teams, lost on Sunday. I almost took Cleveland because of their defense, but I took Cincinnati. I don't know why. Maybe, this is used. The Bengals and Browns games are ones you cannot predict the score to save your life half the time. Excuse me. So I'm going to take Cincinnati. I think they'll maybe be the better team this Sunday. I don't know. That was a coin flip game for me in this one. So I don't know. Next game, Chiefs versus Bills. I'm taking the Chiefs. I think Bills got utterly destroyed by the New York Jets, and Chiefs may do it to them this week. Go Kansas City on that one. Game 7, Ravens versus Eagles. I am taking Baltimore, okay? I'm sorry. Philadelphia, you almost lost to Cleveland this past week. Cleveland, okay? If it wasn't for Vic getting that last TD, you guys would have lost, okay? And I'm saying it right now. Vic, if you threw 4 picks against a bad Browns defense, what are you going to do against the Ravens defense? Seriously. If I'm Philadelphia fans, I'm worried right now. Because if Vic did that bad in week 1, Yes, he got two, I think it was what, 2 touchdown passes? But, well, he got at least a touchdown, I know that, because he got one to win the game. But 4 picks? Whoa, that's not good. You don't want to start off like that. No way, no way. Ravens win. You saw what they did Monday night against Cincinnati. They blew up the joint. Baltimore went crazy. They were out looking for blood, and they found it on Cincinnati. Ravens win. Game 8, Saints versus Panthers. Saints, if it was any other team, I think that against on this past week, I think they would have won. But Redskins showed up. They got off the bus and they played their hearts out. So like I said, I tip my hat to Washington. I think Saints win this week. This time though, they're playing against Carolina, who Carolina didn't even get off the bus to play the Buccaneers. I don't know how they're going to play the Saints. You know, and I like Cam Newton, but damn, you disappointed me, boy. Saints win. Game 9, Patriots versus Cardinals. It's in New England. I'm taking the Patriots. Cardinals, you got lucky to beat Seattle as far as I'm concerned. I'm saying Patriots win this. Moving on. Next game, Vikings versus Colts. Vikings, they won in overtime this past week. It's always great to win in OT. Indianapolis, you played bad against Chicago, okay? And I mean bad. Vikings win. Next, Redskins versus Rams. Redskins, this was probably the easiest pick. Rams are, yes, Rams almost did beat the Lions. I'm sorry. I saw the Redskin game. If they're going to be playing like that all season, they could be a threat in the NFC. But we have to see what will happen for you Skin fans out there. But Redskins should win this game very easily. If they lose to the Rams, I'm going to be surprised. Next game, Cowboys versus Seahawks. I'm taking my Cowboys. They're on the road again, but you know what? They just beat the Giants, the defending Super Bowl champions, on the road. In Seattle, Seattle, you couldn't beat Arizona, and you expect me to believe you're going to beat the Cowboys, whose offense was clicking this past week, and their defense was doing very well, excluding for the few penalties they had, and the one pick by Tony. Dallas was great, and I think Dallas, they could do this again. I think Dallas is going to beat Seattle. It's my team, so I'm not going to pick against them. Cowboys win, and I think Seattle, you may not want to watch. Next game, Jets versus Steelers. Tough one for me, because the Jets just did beat the Bills very soundly, and the Steelers got destroyed by Denver. I'm taking the Jets. I'm going back to the insane asylum for the criminally insane, because that's what it feels like. It's who's running it in New York right now for the Jets. It feels like a nut house, but I'm going to enjoy the ride. I'm going to jump in there, go into the insane asylum with these guys, and see what happens. Jets should win this one, hopefully. Steelers, if you do lose, would be worrying right about now if I were you. If you go 0-2 this early. Next game, Chargers versus I'm already in the nut house. Chargers versus Titans. I got San Diego. Chargers over the Titans. I'm sorry, Chargers. I think they're the better team, and Tennessee. I don't even know who the quarterback's going to be. Is it going to be the young guy? Is it going to be Matt? If it's Matt Hasselbeck, I'm going to be a little bit concerned that I may have messed up. If it's the young guy, I feel fine on my pick. Sunday night game, Niners versus Lions. I'm taking the 49ers. You beat Green Bay, very good. Lions, you barely got past the Rams. Niners, I believe in your defense in this week and your offense. Don't like Alex Smith. I don't think he's a good quarterback. But hey, anything can happen. I'll take Niners. Last game, Monday Night Football, Falcons versus the Broncos. I'm probably going to be in the lower percentage in this one. I'm taking the Falcons. And I know everyone's going to take Denver because it's Peyton Manning. I'm sorry. I'm not sold on them yet, like I said earlier in the video. I'm not sold on Denver. If you do beat Atlanta, fine. I'll buy into the hype that's going around you. But if you lose like I'm thinking, the hype can go bye-bye and never return. Okay? So just as a recap before I go, I got Packers, Giants, Raiders, Texans, Bengals, Chiefs, Ravens, Saints, Patriots, Vikings, Redskins, and how about them Cowboys? The New York Jets, Jets, the San Diego Chargers, the 49ers, and the Atlanta Falcons, who will be doing the bird, hopefully celebrating their win over Denver. Alright, those are my week 2 picks for this week. Let me know what you think. Can I avoid the whammy with a whammy out. Till I see you next week for NFL Week 3, unless you're a WWE fan, when I'll see you tomorrow, but not a Champions Pay-Per-View picks. This is your boy, the DOUG saying peace out, and have a great week 2.